All right, good evening, everybody. Get this stream started off to a bit of a slow start. Just getting my repairs done on one of my rods in the Adriatica reel here, which I actually did finally upgrade the friction brakes on the Adriatica. Not the full 9 kilo upgrade, but it did bump it up to 8.2 kilo max drag because it was only a few silver more than it would cost to just replace the stock one. So giving that a couple minutes to finish up, the rod's going to take a while here, so we'll probably just do some 2 rod trolling while that finishes up and then come back up and pick that up. Let's see if I can go ahead and, what's the max test on this rig? 11 kilos, so I don't want to put the Titan on that really. We'll give this a few minutes to finish up. The timers on this are actually kind of broken. I started these over an hour ago and they were not supposed to, like, this was supposed to be 40 minutes, this was supposed to be 24. Clearly that was not the case, but they should finish, at least the reel should finish up in a few minutes here. And while I wait for that, I'm actually going to do a little bit of, I guess maybe some telescopic fishing over here in the weeds, see if I can catch anything. Actually right here by this, because I can feel a bleak order or something maybe. Go ahead and put some bleak level equipment on here. Take the leader off, throw some size 22 hooks on. Do I have any Rage 22s? No, I don't. Okay. And we'll put some flies on. Those are usually pretty good. And this isn't terribly deep. Let's just go ahead and go right over here. See what we can catch while we wait for that Adriatica to finish repairing. If anything. The drift from the current here does make it kind of a pain in the butt. Might actually increase the depth on this. I think it's at least probably a 1.5 meters deep here. So I'll try 1 meter depth. See if that helps. It's just a little more shallow than I thought. Down just a little bit. Let's see how this does. Still too deep, it looks like. A little further out. There we go. Don't know if there's any bleak here or not. I haven't actually really done any float fishing here on Volkov, so not quite sure if there's anything good on these docks or not. Probably not, but not much else to do while that repair finishes up. I guess while it's drifting, I'm gonna look at the bleak records here. Yeah, fly seems to be the way to go, wherever they're at. Yeah, nothing out there really. I don't know if you can get on this stone wall or not. So maybe this area over here could be decent. I'm sure some of these spots are okay, but really just want something nearby while the workshop finishes what it's doing. Take a look at that timer, see if the reel's done yet. Let's see. Nope, still not quite done. Let's see. Guess I'll venture over there and see if I can cast from the wall. Try to catch something while that finishes repairing. Not gonna wait until the rod finishes. I can get out there with 2 rods while trolling, and I can come back for the other rod a little bit later. This feels like it could be a spot for bleak, maybe. Let's try it. I don't know if this will go. Nope. Okay, so we'll get blocked by the little pillars there. No nibble yet. With the telescopic, I find that if you don't get a nibble within about 10 seconds, it's probably not going to get a hit. Let's try up here. Can you actually get on the wall? Yep. Looks like it. Cast over here should drift along the front of the wall here. See if anything hits. I'm not holding my breath for it, that's for sure. Does stink that the workshop timers are so broken. I did not expect those to take over an hour to finish when the timer only said 24 minutes and 40 minutes, but it is what it is. Nope, doesn't look like we're going to get anything here. That's alright. The reel should be pretty much done. So hopefully pick that up and get on the water patrolling. I guess I'll go ahead and grab another boat ticket while I'm here as well, because I think I'm down to 1 left. Never like to leave without a backup. Go ahead and grab the boat ticket first. Give the workshop just a little bit more time. Go. And to get to the HSV, which is the goal tonight, hopefully, we're going to need 2870, I believe, is the amount of silver we need. So we need about 300 silver to get there. Okay, the Adriatica is done, so we'll come back for that rod later on. Meantime, I will go ahead and put the Adriatica back on here and get on the water. Yeah. Let's get at least over to the 3-meter hole there before I put anything out on the water. Out here. Go. Alright, so we got the orange snatcher on this line. And I set a clip for that. Let's begin. I did not. I didn't. Got fixed up right there. Get the friction brake ready. There we go. And on this line, we'll have the white snatcher. And once the other rod finishes repairing, I can go back and pick that up and we'll get the blue snatcher out. There's something on the orange already. There you go. First fish of the night, a little 1.1 kilo pike. Unfortunately, I don't really have another rod while that other one is being repaired that's safe to troll with out here. My only other spinners are for ultralight, which will likely just get broken by a pike or something. I'm considering picking up a second orange snatcher because it's been pretty good so far. There's a Ladoga salmon, second fish of the night. I will absolutely take that. I've been more impressed with the white and orange snatcher than the blue. I know most people will swear by the blue snatchers out here. A little cucumber action. Right, so we got something on the white. Looks like a Xander. Yep, almost basically a 1.5 kilo Xander. In a nice variety so far. 3 fish, all different species. Alright, so now we'll get into this section, start going around through the middle of the islands, see how that area is hitting today. Got another little fish on the orange snatcher. Little tiny pike. The bite rate's not too bad so far. Really wish we had the a third line, but we'll get it here shortly. Probably about another 15 minutes it should be done repairing. There we go. See what we've got on the white snatcher here. Another pike. Almost 3 kilo. Another one on here. Definitely a good bite rate right now. Not particularly large fish, but yeah, another tiny pike there. A lot of fish can sometimes be better than one big fish. I should say one average size fish. One big fish pretty much blows getting 50 small fish out of the water. And through the island here. I think what we'll probably do is go down through here, come through the channel, and come up the check mark, and then see if that rod is ready for pickup yet. If not, we'll just do the same circuit again until it's ready to put back together. Something small on here. Yep, little tiny perch. It seemed like the island route's picking a whole lot, which is about right. This, with the temperature it is right now, they're probably honestly they're probably deep into the holes, but we'll keep going on the route we're taking. Let's see what we've got here. Here's another salmon, almost 2 kilo. Which is actually, since we've already gotten 2 salmon, that's a decent ratio. Usually I get one of those every 20-30 minutes. Yeah, I got something on here again. Another little pike. On the plus side, this was kind of how yesterday's stream started out. It was just a bunch of tiny fish, but then we got several quite large fish about 30 minutes in, so hopefully we'll have a repeat of that success tonight. Really hoping to get that HSV finally on this stream. Very close, and so a little over 300 silver to go. Have had some decent pike pickup going through this little channel right here, so we'll see if that stays true. It is rather warm today. It was up around 19 degrees at the peak of the sun there. Usually around, I think, 12 degrees is when I see the best bite rate out here. Looked like there was a fish on there, but just dragging the bottom. Just a little surprising. Reel that just a touch there. This one's got a fish on. Another little pike. There we go. Yeah, 1.5 kilo. Getting a little bit better there. Still not great, but this is over 1 kilo. So I'm gonna go in a straight line for the docks from here. Go, got something on again. Another small pike. All right, let's see. Nothing going on here. Just dragging the bottom on those right now. Sometimes right through this little spot here, I'll pick something up on them, so I might get another fish on before we hit the docks here. Everybody see the forecast? Yes, okay, so not showing any rain in the near future and nothing overcast, which those tend to be the best days on Volkov. Is if it's rainy or overcast, the bite rate tends to be much higher. Might actually, what's Quarry looking like? This looks like it's gonna be rainy over there, so I may move over to Quarry if we don't get anything picked up soon here. Doesn't look like we're gonna get anything close to the docks here. I'll go ahead and leave those in the water so I don't have to recast them. Okay, here we go, getting close. All right, let's see if that rod is done fixing itself yet. Nope. Yeah, these timers are horribly broken. So with that much time left, it's probably going to be another 30 minutes or so before that's ready to go. So we'll go ahead and hop back out there. Unfortunately, I think repairs are tied to the workshop of the body of water it's at, so we can't really travel to quarry until that's done. Alright, so let these get back to trolling. See how we do here. Nighttime, unfortunately, is about to come on, which is never very fruitful for trolling here in Volkov. Here's a little pike. Lots of under 1 kilo pike going on here. Not much happening there. Let's see, while we're working our way over to the islands, go ahead and turn just a little bit here. There we go. So, got something on the orange snatcher again. If I wasn't so close to being able to afford the HSV, I would go ahead and pick up the a second orange snatcher, but... Oh, that's an eel. Nice. That's the first eel I've caught out here. Pretty good XP on that. Should be worth a decent bit of coin, too. That's an unexpected catch. See if we get another eel out of that. Nope, just a pike. The other thing I want to do at some point out here is upgrade the hooks I have on all of these snatchers to a larger size to try and target larger fish. Alright, so we've got on here now another Xander. Almost a kilo. Not too shabby. Alright, so the orange snatcher seems to be... I'm surprised we got that eel on an orange snatcher, actually. Is that typical out here? Those are all on bait. Let's check the ultralights. Eel. Yeah, that must be pretty rare to catch an eel on a lure. Wouldn't mind getting more like that, because they are pretty good XP and silver. Little tiny Xander there. Definitely noticing a huge improvement from that friction brake upgrade on the Adriatica. So that's good to see. I think it was worth the extra 3 or 4 silver it cost over a standard repair. There you go. Got something decent on the orange snatcher now. Looks like we're gonna have to chase this one. That's the other thing I'd like to upgrade on this reel is the grease, but with the HSV being so close, grease is actually pretty expensive, so the way this is fighting this is probably an Atlantic salmon. Either an Atlantic salmon or a big asp, one of the two. Ooh, why is that line not cooling down? What is going on here? This thing is running with it. Can't really, if it's an Atlantic salmon, I'd have to be careful not to let it get slack, because they will get away pretty easily. There we go, now let's cool it off. This sucker's running wild. Alright, see if I can get him. Don't want to try to steer the boat in there and end up getting caught on some of that wood, so we'll try to get him back out into open water here. Man, that line's getting hot. Start turning the boat around. Try to get this line cooled off. Always the Adriatica reel. Always. It seems like that friction brake upgrade is making the stock oil pretty much worthless. Normally I don't have this much trouble getting the line cooled off. This is unless this is a trophy fish that's just tearing through it. This is a certainly unusual behavior for it. There we go. Line's cooled off. See if I can get this thing to the top of the water here. Man, already heated up again. Jeez. Hopefully this will be a pretty decent fish though. Go. Yeah, that heats the line up almost instantly. So lesson learned there, if you upgrade the friction brakes, count on upgrading the grease as well, because that stock grease is just not handling this upgraded friction brake at all. Even get this thing, it starts heating up before I even get to orange tension. All I can do is try and push through it. I may just have to accept the extra wear and tear the reel's going to take from the heated line and try to get this fish in. Jumped over there. I didn't get a good look at it though. Still guessing it's probably Atlantic salmon though. Come on, come on, come on. Hate to go keep reeling this in when it's the line's so hot, but pretty much impossible to keep it from heating up on this fish. Again, to get this thing in. Still got quite a bit of line on me, so not making a ton of headway bringing it in. I definitely notice at least the difference with the friction brake upgraded. It's definitely easier to reel these in. It's just heating the line up like crazy. Go ahead and grab some coffee here to get my energy back. The sucker is running with it. We're way up on the northern section of the map here. It's taking us on a tour. Here we go, here we go. Now I'm making some headway. May be able to get them up now. Come on. Definitely betting this is a decent size Atlantic salmon though. If I can ever catch up to it. Let's run again. I better try and let the line cool down. This friction brake though, it's definitely needs upgraded grease. This is crazy. I can't cool this thing down at all. See if I keep the tension low, I may be able to get up on it here. Now that I'm kind of chasing it up to a shoreline, I'll be able to wear it out. I need to start angling myself so I don't end up straight on the shoreline there either. I think I can sweep around, maybe able to pick them up here. Maybe, maybe not. Get a little closer to the boat here, fish. Line's heating up again. Can't really do a whole lot about that. And he's got some energy again. Always the Adriatica reel that finds the big fish, though. There we go, got the line cooled off, at least for a few seconds. Alright, come on, get over here, fish. Nope, now it's turning around on me. This boat does not have the turn radius to turn into it there, so. This friction brake upgrade was, if I had known that it was going to overheat this badly, I would not have gone for this. Holy crap. This is terrible. Let's try to get this again. I think I'm going to have to just risk really heavy friction brake damage to get whatever this is into the boat. Every time I try to let the line cool off, it just gets back all the line I pulled it in. On. Here we go. There it is. Yep, it's a salmon. Ah, come on. That was right there. We'll try another pass by. Let this line cool off if it can. I'm guessing that's probably about an 8-kilo Atlantic salmon. Could be larger though. So I wonder if replacing the grease on a reel is instant or if it's one that has a workshop time associated with it. If it's instant, I may go ahead and just get whatever the cheapest upgraded grease is for this thing when I go pick up the other rod, because this is pretty terrible. Come on. Let me just get him up just close enough to get him in the net. We'll be in good shape. Oh, you got a sardine ad. Nice. Yep, the old Adriatica Mr. Limeade is it just can't catch a break. Another big Atlantic salmon on here. And the upgrade is tearing up through the grease that I have in there. The stock grease is not made for this kind of action. Almost had it a minute ago. It was just like a half a meter out of range of the net, and it gained a second wind on me. All right, come on up here, you stupid salmon. This is definitely gonna be one of those fish that does more. Costs more in repairs than the fish itself is worth, no doubt. Come on. The sucker does not want to give up. And I can't keep the friction brake cooled off to save my life. Alright, see if I can get back into the shallow water where I have a chance of getting it up out of the water here. Come on, salmon. Just give up already. Here we go. Come on. Oh no, he's stuck on the side of the boat. Dag nabbit. I think it might actually be a Ladoga and not an Atlantic. Looked like I had a little bit of patterning on it there. Loop back around, try to get it once again. The friction brake cool off a little bit. Go. Friction brake cooled off. It's going to go pretty much right back to overheated. Yep, there it is. Just kind of have to push through it. If this is a Ladoga and not an Atlantic, this may actually be a trophy. Come on, it's right there. There we go. Come on, get in here. Get in here, you stupid fish. Sucker's so heavy, I may have to go into a reel walk just to pull him into the boat here. There we go. Really, that's just a 7.4 kilo Atlantic? Ugh. Terrible. I'm actually check the wear and tear on that before I put it back in the water. Alright, well, let's see what's been on this line the whole time. Little Xander. 1 kilo Xander. Okay, so put this back out. In the world are, so we're way up here. I'm going to start heading back towards the docks to see if that other rod is ready for pickup yet. And take a look at how much wear that salmon did to the Adriatica. Wow. Brand new fishing brakes, already shredded. Okay, well, there's that. That was kind of terrible. Lasted a whopping 1 fish. All right, let's see what we got on here. Yeah, it's a decent sized pike. 1.5 kilo. Well, at least this isn't burning up the friction brake. Here we go. Another 1.4 kilo pike. Still a decent bite rate, which is good. Just dragging the bottom there. It's lined up to go straight towards the docks. Seems awfully quiet tonight. Not a lot of the regulars in here tonight. In-game chat seems pretty quiet as well. Case of the Mondays, I suppose. Definitely the Mondays, yep. Hopefully that rod is ready to pick up. Can't believe that basically 1 fish did that much damage to the friction brakes. That's pretty terrible. If the grease is instant, I may go ahead and try to upgrade that and try to prevent further damage to the reel, but if not, that Adriatica is going to be a problem. And a little tiny pike again. Also forgot to announce we do have channel point rewards active now, and I did activate a community challenge. So if you guys all accumulate towards 7,500 channel points, we will hold a poll for the viewers to decide my next hair color. You don't think the grease is the issue? I don't know. I mean, it just, I could not cool it off at all. I upgraded to the 8.2 kilo friction brakes, and that stock grease just isn't working. I mean, even leaving my friction brake at 12 on just a little 7.5 kilo Atlantic, I couldn't keep it out of the orange. So I think that upgrading the friction brake on there kind of necessitates a grease upgrade. Oh, that's a pretty decent Xander, 3 kilo. So yeah, while the Adriatica is weak, especially for this body of water, that kind of friction brake heat, I think, is absolutely the result of using the upgrade without upgrading the grease as well. A tiny pike there. Yep, up to 25% complete on the community challenge there. Appreciate that, gamer. I've got some other just sort of standard rewards, like emote unlock and highlight, that kind of thing. I'm trying to come up with some ideas for some other channel point reward expenditure options. And I did get the tier 2 and tier 3 emotes uploaded in one of them. The tier 3, I think they went ahead and instantly approved. Tier 2, there is going through the approval process now. Got to stretch. Ah, that's a good call. Oh, yeah. Get them traps and rhomboid muscles activated here. There we go. All right, so let's hope that that rod is at least ready for pickup here. So I can get a third line out on the water. Still just over 300 silver away from the HSV. Go. Eat pickles and tea? Yeah, I could probably do that. I am a fan of tea myself, so I can pick up some pickles there, and even, I don't even think 20,000. I could probably make that a more of like a 5,000 point redeem, something along those lines. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so that's ready for pickup. Now I do want to check and see. Machine, take the Adriatica off. Oh, shoot, I forgot to take it out of the water. Hey, Hiko. How you doing? Just doing a little bit of Volkov trolling here and learning the hard way that upgrading the Adriatica's friction brakes without upgrading the grease is a bad idea, because one 7.5 kilo salmon did almost 30% wear and tear on it. Let's see. Now, what can I do about the grease situation on this? Yeah, it was literally like one fish did this to the upgraded friction brake here. So there are some options. This is a little bit better and it's cheap. Are there any other cheap options? Looks like that's the cheapest one. So does that have a time associated with it? 18 hours. So nah, not gonna do it for now. So we can have some trolling on it, but yeah, it's I didn't do the full maximum upgrade to where it's like the 9.2 kilo max drag, but I did the 8 kilo max drag upgrade on it. Appreciate that. It's I took the idea of the see no evil image and applied that to the old commissar cat. I go ahead and get the Titan line set up again here. And we'll get a blue snatcher on there. And put the Adriatica back in the spot. Here we go. And back out to the islands we go. Scrolling. All right. Now we just need to avoid getting any large fish on this Adriatica reel while that stock grease is still on there. And just set the clip back on it again, it looks like. So yeah, let that be a lesson that if you do ever upgrade any reel's friction brakes, go for upgrading the grease as well. Got something on here. Where are you fishing today, Hiko and Gamer? There's Xander. I'm going to guess that Gamer's at the archipelago. Out of Balaya, Hiko? How's the bite rate down there? I saw in the forecast that it's supposed to be rainy there, which I think is pretty good for the trout, from what I understand. I know when it's rainy or overcast here, it's amazing for bite rate. Oh, you're still at Bear Gamer? Just waiting for Archipelago to get revived. Oh no, here we go again. Come on, Adriatica, you can do this. Clear and sunny spot. Yeah, the in-game weather forecast, I guess, is about as reliable as the workshop timers. Are the carp still biting pretty heavily for you out there, Gamer? What do we got? What do we got? Xander. 1.2 kilo Xander. And on this line, we've got a little pike. So interestingly, in this area earlier, I caught an eel on one of the snatchers, which was an unexpected catch for trolling. Wasn't a very big eel, but still a nice surprise. Ooh, got a sub from Mr. Limeade. Thank you, Mr. Limeade. Reached our new sub goal here. Slowly working our way to unlocking some more emote slots. Looking forward to making some more artwork for those. So now, Mr. Limeade, you have access to the tier 1 emotes. So you got a big eel out on Archipelago on a lure? It was pretty cool seeing it when I was reeling it in. You just see that wriggling body coming across the top of the water. First, I thought it was a messed up pike. And then as it got closer, I realized it was an eel. Uh-oh. Done messed up here. Through the woods we go. Hopefully not getting snagged on anything. We're just taking a little stroll through the water forest. That's all. Imagine they add snakes and you bring them in, they bite you and lower your health. I absolutely plan on once I get to Yama, I think is where it's at. I am going to definitely get mauled by a bear on stream. That is a goal. Got something on the white snatcher, it looks like. Yeah, eel are weird. Even when I've tried to target them, like at Oldberg, I used to go around all the reed patches with fish fillets trying to get them, and usually can't ever get them when I'm trying to. But if I'm out just trying to get random stuff, they'll come find my lures and bait. Little tiny pike there. I think the one of the new emotes here I can do a little preview of for you guys is where is he? Carp. Oh, the carp one I guess is still being verified by Twitch staff, but we've got a little trophy one here now for tier 3 subs. And with channel points, you can unlock the use of certain emotes as one of the channel reward options. I tried to think of a good emote for Fish Got Away, but with such a limited amount of pixels, I figure the rip emote will just have to do. Nope, here we go. Got something on the orange snatcher there. Another little pike. A lot of tiny pike again. Appreciate it, Hiko. I also, for the channel points, it's kind of hard to tell in the chat window, but the coin, or I guess I should say the channel points, which I am calling cred coins, is the commissar cat with a bunch of gold coins on its head. About in between the islands here, so let's see what sort of bite rate we get out here this afternoon. As far as what we've got in the keep net, I'm hoping this eel and this Atlantic salmon together will be worth a decent bit of coin. This sander should be decent as well. Hopefully we can make it to the HSV. And those of you that are not subscribers, we got a little ad break coming up in a few seconds here, just to do that once per hour to keep the pre-rolls out. So we'll still be trolling around here through the ad. Those of you that are subscribed, as always, thank you for the support. Come on, fish. Take my lures. I'll probably go through this channel again because I've been having pretty good luck with getting pike in that area. Start turning towards that. Definitely not as good of a bite rate as we were having yesterday on stream, but it hasn't been terrible. I almost want to try when it hits nighttime again, going back through this stretch where I got that first eel. See if I can get another one. And with the islands not being too high a bite rate, I'll also try the check mark and down in the lower corner, since it does seem like if the islands are slow, those seem to be decent. Go. Making way through the weeds here. Surely that'll draw some pike out. There we go. Got something on the orange snatcher. One quality of life upgrade I think that could be made is for setting retrieval speed. It'd be nice if there was a tiny asp, a little hotkey bind or something where you can just immediately increase it to maximum reel speed. So for things like feeder rods, for example, you could just immediately go to max retrieval speed instead of having to slowly tick it up there. I think that would be a useful feature addition. Orange Snatcher seems to be the bite rate winner so far today. Another pike. 1.4 kilo, not bad. Alright, so now we should be getting near the check mark edge. Start veering down towards that. Once I get that HSV, if I decide to keep trolling Volkov for a bit after that, I'll probably make my next purchase be a second orange snatcher for when its bite rate is doing better than the blue and white. But my primary goals are definitely to get the feeder rod and spinning rod to support the new reel, and then got to work on getting the multi-tool and some leader material, all that good stuff, and then start working on bait harvesting and ground bait again. What we got on here? Another pike. 1.4 kilo. And looks like we got something on the orange snatcher again. Another pike. Little tiny one. Definitely a good pike bite rate today, just nothing large. I do wonder if increasing the hook sizes would hurt the bite rate too much, or if it would still keep a decent bite rate and narrow out all the small fish and try to get some bigger fish on average. I think these are mostly on like size 2 hooks right now. Guess I can't look at that. Okay. Here we go. Size. Am I missing it? Yeah, size 4 on the blue snatcher. So that is actually a fairly small hook. Upgrading those to at least a 2, if not a 1, I feel like would be a useful thing to do. Because all these little tiny fish are just not even worth it. They're all 5 or 6 cents a piece, essentially. I'd much rather catch one 5 kilo plus fish every 20 minutes over one 200 gram pike every minute. Alright, going over the 8-meter hole here. See if we've got any luck. Well, of course, the Adriatica finds something. Here we go again. Yep, there's that friction brake upgrade. Definitely made the stock grease just not good enough. Why can't these salmon go for the Alpha or the Titan? Why they always got to pick on the Adriatic? It's bullying, I tell you. Alright, Adriatica, let's do this. It's just instantly heated. I'm willing to bet it's going to go past 50% wear from this fish. Here we go. Yeah, swim towards me, salmon. Just keep swimming towards me. That's not the right way. There's just no way to keep the this upgraded friction brake cooled off with the stock grease. Alright, come on, Adriatica. You can do it. Yeah. It's terrible. It's just as soon as it starts running, that the friction brake heats up. And unfortunately, if I wanted to upgrade the grease, I'd have to just sit there without the third rod again for like 30 minutes. Now, when it's a smaller fish, I definitely do notice the difference on that upgraded friction brake. Like pulling in those 1.5 kilo pike is pretty much effortless now on there. But lesson learned is that if you upgrade friction brakes, upgrade the grease tube. Alright, so I'm gonna guess this is probably a 4 to 5 kilo Atlantic salmon. Oh, this is terrible. I'm just gonna have to accept the damage to the friction brake because I can't keep it cooled off for more than a second. As you can see, it's cooled off. I'll slowly start to crank it up, and it's gonna heat up probably before I even get to the orange tension. Yep. It was nice knowing you, friction brakes. Rest in peace, Adriatica. It'll be so nice when I finally get that HSV and can just tuck the Adriatica away until it's time for its burial at sea. It's given us some good memories. We'll always hold on to those, but it's time. Oh no, I think I got something on the other line now too. I think I heard a flop behind me. Come on back, Mr. Salmon. Come on back. Kind of tempted here to go ham. Let's see if it's going to be too risky to do a full lock. Oh, all right. Let's just. Oh, okay. There we go. Can't quite bring the rod up if it's on full lock, so we'll avoid that. In the world am I? I think I'm on... Okay, I know where I'm at. Yeah, it's a risky maneuver. Sometimes I have had some fish with this Adriatica where I had to full lock it to get it up into the boat because it was just too heavy otherwise. All right, gonna go through some reeds here. Come on, salmon. Just give up the fight. Come in my boat. I got a nice bed for you. I don't hear any splashing on the other rod. I don't know if it's still on the line or not. Okay, where is... Okay, I'm still... Go. Got the red friction brake heat. Cool off just a touch here. Back at the fight here. All right, come on up here, salmon. Might be able to get him as we pass by here if we're lucky. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's a Ladoga. Nice. 7.8 kilo. Well, we just got some community gift subs by an anonymous source. So thank you, whoever that was. If you just received a gift sub, give a shout out and some thanks in the chat for that. And I believe that puts us pretty close to unlocking another slot. Yeah, we're at 15 subs. We'll unlock another emote slot, so we're 2 away. So that loving dwarf, Videx, Mike, Johnny Hopkins, Sheepanin, and let's see, looks like that's all the users there. You are in the chat right now and received one of those gift subs. Give some thanks, and thank you to whoever gifted those. Very much appreciated. All right, so let's see how much wear and tear that salmon did to the Adriatica's friction brake. Whew. So basically 2 fish, 43% wear on the new friction brake. That is rough. Hey, Captain Furious. So the fishing's been decent, but I did a little upgrade to the Adriatica reel. I gave it the first tier upgrade on friction brake and learned a valuable lesson that if you upgrade the friction brakes, make sure you also upgrade the grease, because basically 2 fish have taken the friction brake from 0% brand new to 43% wear. The stock grease is not meant for upgraded brakes. But other than that, the bite rate's been pretty decent. Actually got an eel, which was nice, and a couple decent salmon, so should be in good shape. Getting very close to getting the HSV. We're about 300 silver away, so hopefully we'll hit that tonight. And I do have a cat up near the microphone here, so let me see if I can sort of reposition her. Yep, still using the blue, white, and orange snatchers on there, and the orange snatcher has been the MVP so far tonight. It's been the highest bite rate, caught the eel, and has got both the large salmon and the largest pike. So, and of course, all of those were on the Adriatica. The fish don't want to go after my good reels. But aside from the grease issue, I will say that even with the small upgrade to that friction brake, it's bringing in the 1.5 kilo pike that used to be a little bit of a hassle on the Adriatica has been like just cutting through butter pretty much. So I definitely do notice the difference from the upgrade, but if you decide to upgrade any reels, make sure to get better grease. Also, those joined here late, we do have a community channel point challenge going right now for the next, active for the next 30 days. Upon getting 7,500 channel points towards that challenge, I will do a poll for the viewers to choose the color of my next haircut. Do whatever crazy color the viewers decide. And we are 2 subs away from another emote slot, which I do have the tier 3 sub slot emote in place now, and the tier 2 is pending approval. So excited to show you guys that. Those that have not seen yet, the new tier 3 is this trophy. And the tier 2 that is pending is going to be our resident Carpzilla. We're excited to bring that to the chat. And with, I believe it's 350 channel points, you can unlock an emote to use. So feel free to make use of those channel points as you accrue them. Let's get back into the little bit slightly deeper spot here. There we go. How's your fishing been tonight, Furious? Have you tried any of those lure suggestions out at Quarry? We've got a little bit of a slowdown in the bite rate. We'll actually go ahead and update our sub goal to reflect needing 2 more for a new emote slot. Yeah, I know you were mentioning that you weren't having much luck out of Volkov. It is definitely one of these bodies of water where it's like one day will be great, the next day will be terrible, and there's just no telling which one it's going to be. Oldberg, I actually, usually if I use boilies out there, I end up catching tench. I usually just use algae and diced potatoes. Those are my go-to for Oldberg. That's good for both common carp and grass carp out there. Nope, got a cat pressing my keyboard, getting some screenshots taken here. So I guess got that to look forward to. All right, so get repositioned here. See if I can lift her up in view of the camera to say hello to the viewers here. Go. That's Alicia there, one of the resident fisher cats. Another pike, 1/2 kilo there. Oh boy, Adriatica's at it again. Here we go. Why can't they go for the alpha? Oh, speaking of, one that just got on the alpha that's pretty decent too. Hang in there, Adriatica. I'll reel you in. Where was my line? There it is. The only trouble with the this darker colored line, sometimes there's something in the background. It's hard to tell where it's at. All right, so whatever this is, I should be able to get it in. Ooh, little 5 kilo Atlantic, not bad. All right, let's see if the Adriatica can survive this fight. Yeah, I wonder if skill percentage is a factor. Out of curiosity, what's your spin fishing percentage at, Furious? Also, it could be Adriatica. I mean, this reel seems to be like a fish magnet. Or not point spent, but just overall skill percentage. Because I feel like percentage may affect bite rate, and obviously the ability points will affect the size, which I believe I have 2 points in wobblers. Oh no, actually I do have all 3 points in wobblers, so that's probably a bit of a factor into that as well. All right, so this one's not tearing the reel up quite as much, at least. 45%. Okay, so you're not too far off. So it's probably not. It's probably then the ability points, if that's the case, which is interesting because you would think that that just would affect the average size, but maybe it does have an effect on the bite rate as well. You could always throw on an Adriatica though and see what luck it gives. 3.3 kilo pike, not bad. So what's our wear at on this now? Okay, that didn't really do too much to it, so that's good. The Adriatic, it's a blessing and a curse. It draws the fish in, but it makes you work for them. Let's just hope that when it comes time to bring the Adriatica out for its final days at the Norwegian Sea, that it gets a halibut or something on there, goes out in style. Got something on the Titan here. Got something on the white side. There's a little tiny Ladoga salmon. Oh, a jumpy boy. Another Ladoga. Almost 3 kilo. That's what I like to see. That's the money fish right there. Although if I'm being honest, what I really want to see is bleak. I want bleak hitting my lures. I need to switch down to a size 22 hooks. Pickle time here. Yeah, if you're out there in Oldburg, diced potatoes and algae all the way, and the tench out there like the algae as well, so always be aware of those. They like to hit pretty hard. Yeah, algae's it's my go-to most of the time. What I actually like to do in Oldburg is put 2 feeders out, one with algae, one with potato, and then I use a telescopic to try to get some bleak and such, because there's usually a good cafe order for those. That's a 4.3 kilo pike there. And if it's nighttime, I'll throw instead of going with the telescopic for bleak, I'll throw a feeder out with worms and try to get some rough, because that's another pretty common cafe order out there. And some of those bleak and rough orders are like 40 silver, which is great for Oldburg. Alright, let's see what we've got in our cast net so far on search by weight. Got quite a few salmon, so we've probably got If I had to guess, probably about 150 silver in the cast or the keep net right now, so that puts us about halfway towards what we need for the HSV. I did check before coming out, there weren't any good cafe orders for us last. It was all pretty much bottom fish, feeder fish orders. It's very rare to get something like a pike or salmon order, but when you do, it is really nice. I think there's an order that's like 2 pike over 4 kilo that's like 140 silver. I've managed to have that out here once, and that was a nice easy chunk of change. Rolling right along here. Yeah, I've got no fish. I'm going to get back to what I was pleading to do earlier and update these goals for us. And a new goal. There we go. Start that goal up. So if we get 2 more subs, we'll be able to unlock 1 more emote slot so I can make some new artwork for the channel. Rough trophy, nice. Those are my dream is still to get the little lodge at quarry and fill the walls up with like trophy bleak and mussels and gudgeon, rough, all the tiny fish. So that way everybody's showing off their giant salmon and halibut and swordfish and shark trophies. Just put them to shame with all my big minnows. See. Turn around, get back towards the islands since they've been fairly decent so far today. Actually, what I might do while it is night, I'm gonna go right through this spot again to see if I can get another eel. Also, Furious, on Oldberg, there's 2 go-to spots I have out there. I don't remember the coordinates or the grid markers at the top of my head, but one is if you go outside the gate and turn left, there's like that little channel with some reeds going along it. If you go on the, stay on the bank that's on the side of the fort, and go basically to where the last bit of the reeds are, and just cast right beyond those, that's usually a good spot for tench and grass carp. And my other go-to spot is in the top left of the map. If you're on the far northern shore, there's the little island up there in the top left, and that whole area there is always really good for me. And Gamer suggests 2167 as a spot as well. Which I need to make a return to Oldberg here before too long to make some more, do some grocery shopping, make some more cucumbers, maybe another batch of tea. One thing I'm a little puzzled by is the price of the cheese in Quarry, because it seems to me like it's cheaper to just buy the cheese cubes than it is to buy cheese and make it into cubes, which is odd. See if we hook anything through these fallen trees here. I'm going to go ahead and say that it was intentional that I went through those, not an accident. Just go with that. All right, see if we get an eel on our way back around towards the islands here. See someone on the in-game chat here getting a global ultralight weekly bleak record. We're jealous of that. Good old common carp. They put up a lot of fight for as small as they are, don't they? Oh, the memories of the common carp I've pulled in on the Adriatica. Taking me for a walk all across the map. But in my opinion, those fights are more fun. Like this is trolling is much more profitable, for sure. But I do like those just intense fights where you got to walk around the map and chase the fish and keep on them. I think there's a lot of, to me, that's a lot more fun. I just wish that the payout was a little better. Yeah, a little chub, first chub of the night. The one thing I'm kind of curious about is how effective fishing from the shore can be with like an HSV and an Alpha at the Norwegian Sea, because the boat rentals there are pretty expensive. Plus, the further out you go, the more you risk getting something that's just going to break those early reels. So, if I end up getting the unlimited access to the Norwegian Sea, I might give shoreline fishing a try. Oh, decent sized Xander here. Almost 2.5 kilo. Not too shabby. Yep, once I get the HSV, it's time for what, the Imperial? Which I'll probably get the get a Bolognese rod to put the Adriatica on. Yeah, those higher level crafting skills can definitely be slow. It's almost I hate to say it, but it's almost not even barely worth trying without happy hour bonuses. But hey, when you do get to 75, that's free Nightcrawler, so that's handy because I think our Nightcrawler is about like $3 or 3 silver a piece. Yeah, Nightcrawlers will be nice. And then obviously when you get to the high ranks, you can get the gold only bait. That's going to be really good. I do wish you could catch regular flies with the scoop, because flies are such a great bait. Are they less than silver? I thought for some reason I thought they were 3, but yeah, I mean it's still pretty expensive because they can catch so many small fish that you lose money per worm at that rate. All right, sun's coming up, so hopefully we can start picking up some bite rate again here. Let's see what else we got in bait harvesting in the near future. So I'll be able to get bait fish at 65, along with dead fish preparation. Squid meat I don't really care about. It's going to be a lot while before I even worry about that. Catspie larva might be okay. So, really, it's all about the night crawlers. So I see Maddie is out there doing some shoreline fishing with the HSV in Norway, which is kind of what I was thinking about doing if I get access out there. So good to know that it's working out. But you know, he's using the HSV. That's amateur. We're going to use the Adriatica out there. We're pros here in the Cred Club. Slow bite rate now. All right, so I'm going to go up around here and go through the check mark again, see if it's a little more active. It feels like it's been almost 10 minutes since we've gotten a hit. Yeah, it's very spotty. So what I have found right now, it's 8.5 degrees out here. So I think when it's a little bit cooler, like if it's below 10 degrees, the deeper holes are pretty much barren, and you have to go into the slightly more shallow spots. So that's why I'm going to sort of swoop around, go around this, and then out into the check marks. And then the warmer it is, the better the deep holes are. And all that's thrown out the window if it's rainy or overcast. If it's rainy or overcast, pike just seem to be wherever you are, no matter what. Oh, got something on the orange snatcher. What treasures do you have for me, Adriatica? Little tiny asp. There's something on the white snatcher now. Gonna bend the pole right into the water, it looks like. Got a little bit bigger asp, that's not too bad. Probably worth a silver or two. Orange snatcher again. Definitely been the MVP today on the orange snatcher. So if you're out here trolling Volkov, I recommend it. Little baby asp. We've gone ashore. Amazing. Super skill. Pro move. Yeah, the orange snatcher is one of those ones where like the blue and the white are pretty much always going to be decently reliable. Am I stuck on this? What's going on here? There we go. The orange one seems like a kind of it's either going to be really active or it's just going to be getting nothing. But when it is active, it's definitely nice. So back through these shallow spots here. I wonder, this 7.5 meter hole up here, I wonder if there's any particular species that like to hang out up there or worth targeting at some point. So the dough baits, it comes and goes. So with those, there's once you unlock sandwich baits for float fishing, they become super, super useful. But other than that, some days they're really effective, some days they're not, and it varies by species, by lake, by the day. There's some days like garlic dough, for example. Sometimes it's really good for getting tench. Other days, it's just kind of, you'll get some roach, you might get some bream on it. So it just varies by the day, but it is worth having a good selection of them. Now the pea porridge is usually pretty good for bream. It's that one and pearl barley. Between those two, bream are usually always hitting on one of those. Catfish spot. Okay, so Hillbilly Joe in the M-Dogs chat in-game mentioned that 7.5 meter hole up there is a good catfishing spot. So given my last experience with the catfish out here, I'm going to avoid that. Just as a reminder for those that have not seen that catfish, I have the full video on the channel, the full recap of it, but we go to the USA records here. That's me on a Titan reel. That was an hour-long fight. It was rough. So I tried to avoid the catfish while I'm out here after that. It was fun, but it was brutal. Appreciate that, Furious. Yeah, it was if you ever want to throw that recap on, like it was I wanted to give up several times. I didn't think I was going to be able to bring it in, but the chat kept encouraging me to go through and see it through to the end, and eventually we finally brought it in, but it was a challenge. Honestly, didn't think the reel was going to be able to get it up high enough out of the water to put it into the net. The almost 51 kilo catfish on a setup that's made for like 14 kilo, if that. Surprisingly, it didn't go for the Adriatica. I wouldn't have been surprised if it had. And I avoid hitting the shoreline here. Come on, terrible boat turn radius, you can do it. Yeah, the Adriatica. Now don't say that, gamer. You don't give the Adriatica enough credit. And we know this thing can probably somehow pull in like a blue whale. You know, it's just a matter of will. So the Titan, the reason I got that, the first time I was saving up for the HSV, basically I went out to my first Norwegian sea trip, and I was hoping to be able to get the HSV from that. But I realized that I also needed to get a rod and the line, all the stuff that goes along with having the bigger reel. And at that time, the Adriatica was the best reel I had. So with the silver I came out of there with, which was like 2200 silver, I decided to go with the Titan because that allowed me to basically get the reel and a rod and get to use with it right away. And it's really it's not a bad option. Like if you don't have an alpha or an HSV yet and you're having trouble saving up to get the HSV and you still need the rod, it's a decent option to go ahead and just give you something you can just put in the water right away. And it's, as you can see, it's decent for trolling as well. The downside, I think, like the HSV, I know one of the big pros of that is I guess the repair costs for it are pretty low compared to other things. And also you can have a huge amount of line on there, which is a big deal. But for just getting yourself something that can get you a little bit bigger carp than something like the Adriatica can, it is worth it to get the Titan and a rod to go with it to do as a midterm upgrade as you work towards getting something else. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it's not only the 2,800 price for the reel, you're looking at least another 400 to 500 for the rod, probably another 70 or so for the line. The Titan size, let me check that real quick. I actually don't know off the top of my head. It is, oh yeah, the Titan can have a ton of line on it, so that is an advantage it has. Yeah, so I wouldn't shy away from getting the Titan and a rod to go with it. And for the for bottom fishing, you can actually get the Palmer rod for the Titan. Works pretty well, and it's only like 350 silver, I think. More pike hitting out here. Yeah, I mean it's it'll hold up, and honestly that hour-long fight with that catfish, it only did about 24% wear to the friction brake, I think. So it works for sure. Get a line cast out here, and I'll take a look at the rods I've got here. So for spinning with the Titan, I'm using the heavy S80, and for bottom fishing, it's this Palmer. I got the FD120 to save a little bit of silver, but there's, I believe, a larger Palmer, which gives you a little bit more future proofing. That's not too much more silver, so that's also a good option. And there's not a friction brake upgrade for the Titan, but like on that catfish, the line was getting a little bit hot, so you could upgrade the grease on the Titan if you wanted, but really, I never got it to red fighting that catfish, so I don't think it's really necessary, but that's an option if you want to go really future-proof the Titan. So far, the Adriatic has really been the only reel I've used that's had a viable friction brake upgrade option. And then this reel is the Alpha 8000, which is about comparable to the HSV, but has a much lower maximum spool. But it's also like 600 silver less, so it's kind of another one where I chose to go to get that and a rod instead of saving up for and getting the HSV. So yeah, with the HSV is upgradable. The thing about those upgrades is that when they wear out, you have to do like a full replacement on that friction brake. So I guess it gets pretty expensive and adds a lot of time to the repair. That said, it may be worth it if you take it to like doing like Matty 2K is doing and fishing from the sea. It might be worth it for that, I don't know. But generally it's not recommended. But you know, here in the Cred Club, we like to do what's not recommended. We're crazy like that. Yeah, so the upgrades, like, I haven't found a good resource on upgrades at all, really. I know there's a couple popular spreadsheets, but they don't seem to have a lot of info on the upgrades. Throw that through some Google Translate and see what it says, I guess. As far as grease upgrades, I think like there's those generic greases they have that are 5-star. So I guess those are kind of like the best in class grease for any reel. So if you get a reel that you're going to keep long term, it might be worth getting that because that's going to reduce your overall friction brake wear and tear. So it might be a good investment to do. Especially if you're using an Express brand reel, because those have that really crappy like half-star grease. That's what the Adriatica's got stock. And as we've seen, it does not perform well when you upgrade the friction brakes at all. Okay, so we're getting close to this hole down here. This spot right here is always where I get a little bit scary because this is where I picked up that massive catfish. See what we get. So far we're at 56 fish. We're running on just about to the 2-hour mark here. So the bite rate has been spotty. It's been like 10 minutes of really good bite rate, then 20 minutes of nothing. 10 of good, 20 of nothing. Yep, there we go. Something on the blue snatcher. Looks like there may be something on the orange snatcher as well. Ooh, another little Xander there, and a spin fishing game. Always happy to get that. I don't think that actually has anything on it. Do the trick that Twitch Prime taught us about. Nope, doesn't seem to be any fish on the line, so they're just dragging the bottom. And we're getting close to the 8-meter hole over here, which I do sometimes have some luck getting some salmon in this area. And we are above 10 degrees, so that does seem to be when the fish start biting in those deeper holes. So here's to hoping we get a decent catch rate over here. It looks like we are 2/3 of the way to level 24, which is nice. Unlock the Sura River, see what we can catch there at some point. Yeah, it's the bite rate, it's so unpredictable. But the good thing about it, when the bite rate is slow here, sometimes all it takes is just one good fish to make it a decent return. Yeah, Sura's looking forward to it. Once I get some Bolognese fed up, so I'm looking forward to going to the Seversky Donets River, doing some float fishing out here. Looks like some nice scenery, so we can take in the sights. That's one stream I may do someday if I, next time I need to do some rod and reel repairs, I might do a dedicated stream to just go through some bodies of water and just walk around and explore them and see the sights, see all the different little buildings and stuff that dot the landscape. Nice relaxed chat with the channel viewers type of stream. Well, here we go on the Adriatica again. Rest in peace, friction brakes. Oh, this one doesn't seem to be lighting up as much, so it's probably not a salmon. It's probably like a 3 or 4 kilo pike, I'm guessing. The cottage pond, I have not heard of that. Yep, 3 kilo pike. Ooh, here we go. Something's winding up the alpha. That's what I like to hear. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's fighting like a salmon too. Might be in some money now. Oh, okay, so that, yeah, I do remember, I think one of M-Dog's videos was referencing like the old tutorial pond. And I know Mosquito Lake used to be a lot different as well. Something big's on the Adriatic again. Here we go. Double fish fight. Turn around, get this this amazing turn radius. Quarry was different too? Huh. I wonder what prompted them to change those so drastically rather than just making entirely new maps. Oh, I hear the Adriatic ticking over there. I think we've got whatever's on this line worn out. Where is it though? Here we go. It's coming up on this side of the boat. Come on up, whatever you are, fish. So the problem I am finding with the Alpha is that it's a lot touchier with the tension than the Titan and the Adriatica are. Like one little tick forward with the friction brake makes a huge difference in that tension bar. Okay, I'm going to swoop around the long way here. I was hoping this was going to be a quick reel in so I could switch to the Adriatica. And I need to grab some coffee. My energy is low. Yeah, that might be a... Yeah, I guess the rod's probably a bit weak for it as well. Will do, gamer. Could be the line that I'm using as well. I don't remember what size line I've got on here. Alright, so I can turn back towards this thing. Hopefully that coffee will kick in. Might try some tea to go along with it. At least whatever's on the Adriatica is not swimming off the other side of the map, so I can deal with that. Go. This thing's not putting up a ton of fight. I think right now I'm just kind of getting having issues due to my energy level. I'm gonna let the tension go down just a little bit to get my energy back up to green. Here in about 30 seconds, those of you that are not subscribers will have a... Ooh, oh, that's a salmon. We'll have a little bit of an ad break. That's to prevent pre-roll ads. Go ahead and... that'll be starting in about 10 seconds here, but we'll still be reeling these fish in, I'm sure. Alright, now that I've got some energy, let's get some power back on this. Alright, get in here, salmon. A little bit more friction on there. Yeah. Yep. Problem with this salmon right now is it's hanging right there by the shoreline, so I can't really come in at an advantageous angle that's not going to risk me hitting the shore. See if I can drag him away from here. Apparently this location is called Snags. I don't like the sound of that. Come on over here, Mr. Salmon. Sounds like it might be a salmon on the other line as well. I'm hearing a lot of splashing. There we go. I think he's worn out now. Oh, Come on, come on. If I can turn this boat worth a flip. Come on up here, salmon. Dang it, come on, come on. Big boy. Get in there. There we go. Ooh, nice. 10 kilo salmon. That's what I like to see. Alright, I'm going to try to out of this situation before I pick that reel up. Appreciate that, Furious. Okay, let's see what we can do here. There we go. Alright, so now let's see what's on this line. Exactly 1.5 kilo pike. So with the equipment, I do believe Quarry's or Volkov is probably the best overall maker. But if you've got the equipment for big carp, then that's definitely superior. Like over at Bear Lake, the problem is, for example, I've tried Bear Lake using pretty much the exact same setup as Gamer's been using out there, with the exception being the leader. He uses a red camo leader, and I've been using another spin fishing game, fluorocarbon, and with the exact same baits and everything, I'm catching nothing out there. So that's the key with like carp. If you can get good sized carp, it's worth it and is better in the long run. But you really need like an HSV, you need like 2 or 3 HSVs in the rods to support them, so you can go after multiple big carp at a time. So at our level with our equipment, I think Volkov on decent days is the best. Quarry, if Volkov is not doing well, Quarry is pretty good. Or if you're like Hiko and you have good look at Belaya, Belaya is pretty solid, but I don't get bites at all at Belaya. I think there's something on the Adriatic again here. Yeah. There we go, another little pike. Half a kilo. All right, so I'm gonna start. If you get bored of them, getting better luck than me. I get like 1 fish every half hour out there to live. Yeah, unfortunately, that catfish for all that fight, it was only worth like 120 silver. Some of the best fish I find, if you get lucky in large asper fighting well out here, I've had days where I'll catch like 3 or 4 5 kilo asp, and those are worth like 40 silver a piece. I think so far my best hour out here, I made like almost 500 silver. Granted, that's very atypical. Normally it's around like 300 to 350 silver an hour, but what you can do with the equipment you've got ultimately. A little Ladoga salmon, 1 kilo. The thing I find with Quarry is that it's about 200 silver an hour, but it's very reliable. So if I'm only playing for an hour, I think Quarry is the better option. Volkov, because of the whole like one day, like an in-game day, one day will be really bad, then the next day will be really good. It's kind of one of those ones that if you're going to be fishing for at least 2 hours, Volkov is going to be the better option. Whereas if you're just going to be on for an hour, it's kind of a gamble whether it's a good day or a bad day out here. And that's just for trolling. I don't know about, it does seem like there are opportunities for good feeder fishing out here, and the cafe orders out here make it suggest that if you know the spots and what to use, feeder fishing may actually be really profitable to just come out here and fill cafe orders. But I have no clue where to fish for stuff on feeder fishing out here. Right. Yeah, that's what I've been finding is that it seems to be like one in-game day will be really good, the next in-game day will be really bad. A little kilo salmon, and I really don't know what all the factors are to it. And also knowing where the fish are going to be at seems very random. Like usually everyone always says stay between the islands, but some days that works perfectly. Other days, that's why I moved down here, is it's just been slow down here, but getting some salmon down in this area. So you kind of have to travel the lake and see what's good compared to quarry, where you can just kind of go in a circle and you're going to pick up fish, and it only takes like 10 minutes to make a full revolution of quarry. Whereas this map, going this entire circuit at trolling speed is like an hour-long process. All right, so I'm gonna go through the check mark here and start heading back towards the docks here and see if there's any orders we can fill, and if not, go ahead and make the turn in, see where we're at, see if we can afford that HSV yet. Looks like we got something on the Orange Snatcher. Again, the Orange Snatcher is the MVP. Unfortunately, it's the one of the 3 Snatchers that I don't have multiples of course. It's kind of ironic. Everybody swears by the blue Snatchers out here, and I do catch things on them, but to me, they are far less reliable than the white and orange. It's a small little salmon. At least the salmon bite rate's picking up right now. Even those small ones are usually worth decent silver. All right, getting close to the docks now. See if we get lucky. Sometimes this little 3-meter hole up here near the docks, I seem to have luck getting a lot of Xander. So same with this little spot right here in front of the docks. Maybe we'll hook on a couple of those before we get back to the docks, if we're lucky. One day I want to try spoons and spinner baits out here, see if they are good for getting asp and eyed. Since there's usually some cafe orders for the eyed, and getting those large asp would be nice for just good silver. Definitely not going to try jigging, because if I go to the records, these catfish like the jigs. I do not want to risk getting a 90-kilo catfish on the line. Although I'm sure the Adriatica could handle it. Emotionally, I don't think I could. Oh, appreciate that, Jolly. Get the new leader on there. I know one of mine's getting worn out, so come in handy. Cucumber here. All right, so we're just about to the dock, so I'm gonna start pulling the lines in here. Hey, we actually had something on this line. Must be a little perch or something, I bet. Hey, a zebra mussel. What a big boy there. Yeah, the red camel will come in handy when I go back to Bear Lake for sure. Appreciate that. I love picturing those little tiny 25-gram mussels biting on a size 4 hook, just zooming past them. That's a skilled mussel right there. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we've got at Cafe first. I wish more lakes were set up with the like winding rivulet is where the cafe and the fish market are like right across from each other. The mussel wasn't big enough to fill the order. That's a shame. Nothing else we can fill in. But see, like this rough order here, for example, if I can find where rough are good to catch here, that's a pretty good amount of silver for catching rough, and getting them that size isn't too difficult with the right bait, so that's something I need to research at some point, see where I can catch those. And let's take a look at where we ended on the Adriatica's wear and tear. So I got the whole brand new friction brakes on here at the start of the stream, and we're at 43.9%. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, so our total is 405. So that's not bad. That's about 200 silver per hour, so it's about quarry level. But we got some big boys here. 42 for that salmon, 44 for that one, almost 60 for the big Atlantic. Where was that eel? Let's see how much he was worth. The eel's worth, man, that's awesome. Almost 40 silver for that little eel. So sell those and we can finally do it. The time has come, boys. Here we go. Let's just take a moment to cherish this point in time. Now I'm broke. Now I'm broke. Yes, we do need to figure out how to target those eel, especially with trolling. So I know, like, for feeder fishing, fish fillets are good for eels, but for trolling, it's probably just a really low random chance. But still, 40 silver for that is nice. Appreciate it, everybody. It's been a long journey getting to this HSV, but it's finally here in all of its splendid glory. And I don't even think I have... Can the Belmore support this thing? Okay, the Belmore can just barely support. So this is a gamer, going back to what you were asking for to see the work on this. This is what I've got on the line with the Alpha. I've got the Belmore, which is up to 16 kilo, which isn't much. 15 kilo line, that's probably the biggest culprit there. Because I think the Alpha is at 14.5, so I actually am overdoing it on the line with that. Let's see. Then we've got these on here, so let's see. Can the S80 handle the Alpha? I believe it can. So with this, we can change this out to the HSV. And then this can be changed out to the Alpha. And then finally, you've done us proud, Adriatica. You've done us proud. Make sure this is... Ooh. Actually, that this is kind of cutting it close with this, so I probably need to upgrade this spinning rod. So I guess for now, just so I don't ruin myself, I'll keep the Adriatic on. So the first upgrade we need to make is upgrading this Express S70 to, I guess, the S80, which how much is that? Yeah, it feels good. It has definitely been a long journey. I think it's probably been almost a month now that we set out to get the HSV, but it's kept settling for something smaller. Yeah, the Super Duty is definitely the rod I want to go for the HSV for sure, and that's a ways away, but it's going to be very super proofed. But if we go with the S80, that's already half the cost though. Wonder if we have on these. Can any of these handle it for cheaper? Not really. Best one can only go up to 12. I could get another Belmore, but I don't know. I have to look into that. And then for feeder rods, another Fortuna can handle us for a while, so I'll definitely need to get another one of those. But at least we're there. At least we are there. Appreciate that, Hillbilly Joe. So yeah, get the Fortuna for that. We need to get these. I guess the question becomes, do I settle for another Belmore or go back to spinning rods here, because that's only going to run me 500 silver. Actually, you know what? I can go for a lower tier Belmore on the Titan. I think actually, let's see this. That's a 13 kilo, and the Titan is, let's go here, look it up. The Titan is 12.7, so I could do that to save money, but for that price difference, I agree. I think that's probably a bad idea. I just, I don't know if I want to go all the way to the Super Duty just yet. I mean, obviously I do want to get the Super Duty, but right now I can't really make use of all three reels, which is going to slow down my my profits and prevent me really from upgrading the or using the Titan right now. So I kind of want to go with the Belmore, but check out Mekta. Okay, let me take a look, see what we've got on that. Mekta. Don't see a Mekta in the spinning rods. Is that a different one? Oh, here we go, the comma, okay. That one's as much as the Super Duty though. So, let's see. Model 1 is even more expensive, which obviously the Model 1 is very well future-proofed. I mean, that will take me pretty much to, if I want to do some spin fishing at sea, realistically. But for just a Titan, I can get a Belmore technically, or I mean, I could risk it as long as I don't turn the friction brake up high. I can put the Titan on here because this is rated for 11 load capacity, and the Titan is at 12.7. So if I keep the friction brake down to like 20 or so, right? I mean, it is wasting it, but then again, it is saving having to use the Adriatica and putting it through more wear and tear. But I don't know. It's a tough call, because if I go for just upgrading to the Model 1, it means that's another basically 500 silver I've got to earn before I can put the Titan back on. So, and then let's see, what is this Palmer rated at? This is at 12.5. So the Palmer could probably do fine with the Titan for feeder fishing. So that's good. Yeah, I'll have to put some thought into it and figure that out. But right now I'm pretty much broke. So what I'll probably end up having to do is I'm going to have to show shorts in. I'm going to have to do some more trolling on the next stream just to get some money back up. You want to go do which section you want to see, gamer? Linear spin. Okay. Linear is the Siberia. Let's see what we've got here. So these go up to 15.3, 20.1 on that one. So that's, well, that one's also a lot more expensive. Okay, that's why. 15.3, 15.3, and 13.5. Not really worth that. These are ultralights, so this one's not a bad option. Like this S88 here, that's got a little more. I mean, that's almost as much as the Belmore for about the same cost, and for even just a little bit more. Yeah, this is still 15.3. So yeah, I agree. This may be the one we go for, is the linear. So I can get that as that way I can troll with 3 good reels, and from there I'll probably upgrade the hook sizes so we can target some bigger fish, and then begins the grind to getting the see, we need the multi-tool. Is there a hardware store around here? That's the cafe. Is this a hardware store? Yeah. So the multi-tool is going to be 386. Oh, got. Thank you for following there, Lucifer. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming along here. So the fishing tool here. So this is what we need for the leader. So that's going to be another 400 silver there. That's probably going to be what I get after I get another spin rod and feeder rod. So that's going to be send us back about 1,400 silver. But now that we've got the HSV and the Alpha, that's 2 good rods. With that being said, I want to take a look at the lures here. Got the Snatcher that has the size 4 on here. It can go up to a 2/0. So, oh, hydrate, good idea. Let me, oh, I'm almost out of tea here, actually. What size hook do you think would be safe on the HSV and the Alpha for out here on Volcom? Should we go up to a 1/0 or play it safe and go at a 1? Just keep the size 4. I mean, it is a higher bite rate, but if we could get some larger fish, it would be nice. Yeah, I guess with the cost, maybe it wouldn't be worth it. What is the cost of those actually? Treble hooks. Yeah, those are pretty costly. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean larger fish, but it weeds out some of the smaller ones, so it could be worth it, but for 30 silver, well, I guess we'll just keep the size 4s on there. But we'll see what we can do with those, and even try quarry again if we need to. But that's our goal. So we're gonna go for the linear for the spinning rod. We're gonna go for another Fortuna feeder rod. I do want to pick up a Bolognese rod for something, but honestly, I don't mind going cheap on those. Let's see, it's like probably this is a linear on that. Yeah, that should be plenty. So at some point I want to get one of those, but at first we're going to go for the Fortuna feeder, the linear spin, and then the multi-tool. So we've got our goals set. 60 silver, bowed knees, go just for a little bit bigger, and that gives us up to 3.8 kilos of drag. So yeah, that should be fine. I can put one of the Lacerti reels on there. Should be an easy strategy to do then. But got our plans made. Overall, not a bad haul. 400 silver for 2 hours. Got a surprise eel. Tore the crap out of the new friction brakes on the old Adriatica. So those are already going to have to be replaced. And while I am thinking about it, the price of the cheapest upgrade I could do on that, I could just use this to look at it because it's all the same grease. The cheapest grease upgrade is 14 silver. So when I repair the Adriatica, I will probably go ahead and pick the real grease up as well so it doesn't fry, because it's using this crappy 5 silver grease, and I think that was the issue. But that's I think that'll do it for tonight's stream. Thanks everybody for coming out. Hope everybody has some successful fishing and tight lines. And I will catch everybody next time. Have a good one, folks.